Today I'm talking about the 12th studio album by Lenny Kravitz called Blue Electric Light. This is a follow-up to his 2018 release, Raised Vibration. Initially scheduled for release on March 15, 2024, Lenny Kravitz decided to delay Blue Electric Light to May 24, 2024. This change was to allow him to honor the legacy of civil rights leader Bayard Rustin. The first taste of the album came on October 13, 2023, with the release of the lead single TK421, a song referencing a stormtrooper from Star Wars. That was accompanied by a music video directed by Tanu Muino. Then he released the second single, Human. It premiered on The Tonight Show on March 22nd, 2024. The song celebrated authenticity and the human spirit. Kravitz explained that Human was about living true to oneself and celebrating our existence. The music video, directed by Joseph Kahn, followed on April 5th, 2024. Blue Electric Light features lyrics primarily written by Kravitz, with a few tracks co-written with Tony Lemans and Craig Ross. On May 24, 2024, the album was finally released. So let's talk about this. I'll just go through the tracks now. The opening track is called It's Just Another Fine Day in This Universe of Love. The bass guitar intro is very funky. It sets up the sound very well. It's a slow song, but the chorus was catchy. You can hear different styles mixed into the song, such as funk, soul, a little psychedelic rock mixed in. There's even some spacey sounds. It's also interesting that he chose to put the longest song first. It's over 6 minutes long. It was a good opener. It took me a few listens to get into it, but I thought it was a good way to open up the album. Then there is TK421, the Star Wars theme song. This was compared to something from Prince's Purple Rain in a review in AP News. I thought it was very upbeat. To me, it sounded a little like Earth, Wind & Fire, but that was because I'm more familiar with that band. The song has a lot of different sound effects in the background, and it has some saxophone. That made me think of the cantina scenes from Star Wars. I don't even know if they were intending to do that, but this was one of the singles. There's even like a Godzilla sound in one part of the song. It was not too bad. I thought it was a decent song. Honey is the next song. It sounds like some disco from the 70s. It made me think of the movie Saturday Night Fever. It would have fit well on that album. The song also sounds a little modern with some different effects used in the sound. The song also has some horn sections. I thought it was okay. It was not one of my favorites. Paralyzed is a song that AP News called 80s heavy metal. I don't know if the writer of that review was a metalhead, but to me it was a little different. Yeah, I agree. He used some more distortion in the guitar, kind of like his music from the early 90s. I wouldn't call it metal. It's more of a throwback to his sound from his earlier albums. I heard more of a psychedelic rock sound, especially during the breakdown and the solo. Nonetheless, the song appealed to me more than others. It was also pretty catchy. Human is a song that AP News said had terrific percussions and a Depeche Mode vibe, and I can agree with that statement. It has the same type of electronic drum beat. It was one of the more danceable songs. I wouldn't call it new wave like Depeche Mode, though. It was more electro-funk, like that type of sound. I like the drum beat in this one. It was also kind of catchy. It brought back that classic Lenny Kravitz sound. The guitar solo was very good. I thought it was one of the better ones. Let It Ride is another song that was compared to Prince, so you can see he was an influence. I guess for me it was a little different. I've never been much of a fan of this type of music. It sounded more electronic than some of the others, and there was not much guitar playing to be heard. The song was kind of trippy, and if you listen with headphones, you can hear all different types of sound effects. Stuck in the Middle is another song that had an electronic beat, but this was a slower song. Someone commented that the song was stuck in the middle, and it was because it's placed in the middle of the album, maybe intentional, I don't know. It's track number 7 on a 12-track album, but anyway, it's a softer rhythm and blues type of song. It's not too bad. It was kind of catchy, and the guitar sounds pretty good. I was expecting that song by Steelers Wheel from the 70s. You might remember that song from the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack. Bundle of Joy is a song that Louder Sound magazine also compared to Prince. I think this is the third time I'm mentioning Prince in this review, and I think it's going to be the last one. I thought it was an upbeat track. It had an 80s sound, a lot of electronics used. The sound was a little retro. There were some different guitar styles used as well. He played some funk as well as some classic. Love Is My Religion is next. Louder Sound magazine compared the song to T-Rex and said it had that kind of stomp. I can agree with that. You can hear that from the start in the drum beat. This was one of the few songs that had more of a rock sound. So I thought it was one of the better tracks. On this one, he's bringing back the sounds of the 70s. The guitar solo was very good. Even though it was brief, he really captured the sounds of the 70s in this one. Heaven is a song that AP News has compared to Rick James. I thought it was a weird song. The funky bass guitar sounded very good. I can hear the retro sound. I like some of the guitar playing. The song also has a lot of electronics in the sound. I heard a little bit of Jimi Hendrix in the guitar playing and had that fuzzy, distorted sound. Spirit in My Heart is the penultimate song. This was a little different. Someone in the comments compared it to Stevie Wonder, and I can hear that in the vocals. This one also has a very retro sound. It's one of the slower tracks. It sounds like something that you would hear on the radio in the 70s. Blue Electric Light is the last song. This one's very slow and emotional. I think he saved the title track for last. It seems to wrap up the album very well. The song is slow and relaxing. You can hear some of his electric guitar playing in the background. The guitar solo was also pretty cool. It was more of a rock sound and not a bad song to end the album. Now for my final thoughts. With Lenny Kravitz, every time he puts on an album, he seems to have a different musical style, and he's done that over the years. I know he's been putting out albums for over 30 years now, but I thought it was good. I think for me, I wasn't a big fan of some of the styles he was playing, but I thought the songwriting was good in general. I know he's not always going to play the hard rock that I remember from the 90s, but he's doing something different. I think it's a decent album. Out of all the songs, I think there were 2 rockers and the rest were mostly funk and soul and R&B, that type of sound. But I like how he went back to different decades. Some sound like the 70s, some stuff sounds like the 80s. So it's a decent album. For me, it's a 7 out of 10. Other people might rank it higher if you're a fan of artists like Prince, Earth, Wind & Fire, or Stevie Wonder. That's all. Thanks for watching. Just check out this video right here. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you're not already. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.